It happened without warning, without pain, without ceremony. One moment the air was invisible as it had always been, and the next it was crowded. Not with clouds or smoke, but with everything that had always been there and never seen. Dust, pollen, ash, skin cells, fibers, spores, salt from distant oceans, remnants of fires long extinguished. The world did not change. Vision did. At first it was beautiful. Sunlight turned the atmosphere into a slow, glittering storm. Every breath shimmered. People stood still in streets and rooms watching galaxies drift through their living spaces. A laugh sent ripples through the air, scattering particles like startled birds. Cities sparkled. Forests glowed. The sky became a moving tapestry of memory. Then the scale became clear. Each step through a room displaced millions of particles, many of them once part of other people. Every space was crowded with histories. The air in a hospital room carried traces of pain and recovery. A classroom shimmered with chalk, sweat, breath, and fear. Bedrooms were thick with the remains of dreams and arguments. Privacy, it turned out, had always been an illusion, but now it was impossible to ignore. People learned quickly not to look too closely when breathing. Each inhale pulled in a visible storm, a river of matter entering the body. Panic attacks surged. Masks returned, not out of fear of illness, but out of fear of understanding. Parents watched the air around their children with desperate intensity, tracking every particle that drifted too close. Scientists tried to map it. They spoke of particle density and flow, of atmospheric memory and long-range movement. They proved that a breath exhaled in one city could, years later, be inhaled by a stranger across the planet. Lovers learned they had already shared each other long before meeting. Enemies discovered the same truth. Pollution was no longer abstract. It hung in the air like a visible accusation. The exhaust of a single car spread outward in slow, undeniable waves. Fires stained the sky for years, their ash never truly gone, only diluted. Even the cleanest mountain air carried ghosts from elsewhere. Some people couldn't bear it. They stayed indoors with filtered air, staring at blank walls, longing for the old emptiness. Others became obsessed, learning to read the air the way sailors read the sea. They could see weather forming hours before it arrived, watch storms being born from invisible collisions. Artists painted with motion instead of color, tracing currents and eddies no one had ever named. And then there were the moments that changed everything. A woman stood in an empty church and watched centuries of breath hanging above the pews, layered like sedimentary rock. A battlefield revealed clouds of metal and smoke that never fully dispersed. A newborn's first cry pushed aside ancient particles, making space for something new. Slowly, something shifted in human behavior. People moved more gently. They opened windows with intention. They spoke less in anger, knowing their words would linger in the air long after the sound died. The planet had always remembered everything. Now, humanity could see the memory it was leaving behind. In the end, the air did not become heavier. People did. Because once you see every particle around you, you understand a simple, unsettling truth. Nothing you do ever truly disappears.